Hey everyone, this is a quick video to show you some of the highlights of a program called Stellarium. It's really very useful. So let me just wait one moment. All right, so my stream is going and I'm ready to go. So we have a program called Stellarium. It's got lots of really cool tools. I'm just going to show you a few of them right now. So let me switch to that screen, show you, this is a free program, by the way. There we go. This is my startup for Stellarium. Right now, it actually knows where I'm located. I have actually told it where I'm living. So it says Santa Barbara. If you would like to change the location, the very first thing you can do is if your cursor slides over to the left-hand side, you'll see that we have up here at the top a little compass, or actually looks like the compass points, and it's a location window. And you can actually start typing, and you can click actually anywhere on the world on this map, or you can start typing the name of a location. And you'll see that it has the longitude and the latitude. You can enter values from here as well. Actually, I have not played with it, but it looks like you can even go to other places. Wow, that would be super cool. Actually, wow, I'm not going to do that now though. So here I am, I'm looking at the window. You can zoom in and zoom out. Sometimes the ground here is getting in the way. There's a big tree, for example. And so the very first thing I'm going to do is not as pretty, but I'm going to go ahead and slide over again, and I'm going to the sky and viewing options window. And if you slide, you can look at these tabs here. There's one called landscape, and the totally boring one is called zero horizon. Okay, and that way you're not blocking any of the view. So that's kind of an important thing. So it's not as pretty, but that's what it is. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to watch things moving in the sky. And you can see we've got a big bright sun, and down here I see there's a moon somewhere. Oh, I didn't zoom on it. Okay, so if you're using a PC with two buttons, then you left click to click it and right click to unclick it. Okay, I'm not sure what to do on a Mac. Sorry about that. You guys will have to play with it. But what you can do, if you notice, things are moving, right? So if you click on something, there's moving things right here. And so if you slide down, there's actually click this play button and everything stops, right? You've stopped the movement of any object in time. Okay, so talk a little bit about what else you can do. So this thing allows you to look at the sky or to predict where things will be in the sky, right? It's a pretty powerful piece of software. And so, yeah, what's one of the first things that you want to do? Well, maybe you want to change the date and the time. And as you slide over to the left, you'll see that there's a date time window, okay? And so you can just change the date, anything you want, and you can change the time. So I can quickly jump forward in time, and you'll notice that the sun is going down, and now it's down, okay? And the sky is, the stars are beginning to appear. Now you'll notice that you can still see some glow of the sunlight, and it's actually refracting over the edge of the Earth. So what if I don't want to see that? What if I want to try to make it so that I don't see that? Well, you're going to slide down this time, and there's a number of cool things to click. Let's just do one at a time. But right here, you'll see the word atmosphere. So what this does is it toggles the effect of the Earth atmosphere on and off. I'm going to click that, and now I see lots and lots of stars. So I can zoom out, and I can see lots and lots of stars. I can even turn it like this. Okay. Anyways, so I'm looking towards the south right now. This is the orientation we want to use. Okay. So far we figured out how to turn the atmosphere off, how to change the time, how to change the scenery, how to change the location. The next thing I want to show you is how to find, let's say I wanted to ask you the question, when does the sun reach the highest point in the sky? Now, it turns out that the answer is noon, right? At local noon. So one of the tools that we have is, when does the sun reach local noon? And the answer is, well, when it gets to the middle of the sky. That will be the highest point it reaches. That line that actually passes from south all the way through the top of the sky, called the zenith point, to north, is known as the local meridian. So I want to show you two things that we might be able to use at some point in our class. One of them is down here. If you slide along, it's called the azimuthal grid. I'm going to go ahead and click that. Now, this is a lot of information, I realize, but I want to show you something important. First of all, there's a line right here that goes right above the letter S, south. And if I slide up, I want to show you something important. This grid has a center, which is actually right above our head. It's called the zenith point. And you'll notice that there's a line that passes from south through the zenith to north. This is called the local meridian. So if I actually rotate the sky, you just click and drag, and I look at the north, I want to show you an important idea. If you read right here at the top, you can see it says 0 degrees. And if you look, this next line is +10, +20, etc. And so the angle that you measure around the horizon is called the azimuth. And it goes from 0, and if you look at south, which is halfway around the sky, you can see the number is 180 degrees. But if you keep going, you come back to north, and you'll notice that it says 350, and then north is actually 360, and we start all over again, okay? So we have 0 to 360 degrees for the azimuth, and yeah, okay. And then these horizontal lines are called the altitude lines, okay? So if you look at C, it says +10, +20, +30, and the biggest you can get to is the zenith point, and that would be +90 degrees, okay? So right above our head, it's 90 degrees above our head is +90 altitude. That's the word altitude. Okay, those are vocabulary words you need to know. Okay, facing south again. So this is a little bit of a more than we need. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off and show you another way to do this, okay? So slide over and find the sky and viewing options. And this time we're going to look at the markings, okay? And what we're looking for is the meridian line. So here's the meridian line. And I think you can even change the color. You can. Let's change it to, I don't know, probably green is good, but let's leave it at green. It's probably good. Okay. You can close this window back up. Okay. So now you see there's a line that comes out of the south, goes right through the middle of the sky, the zenith point, and then goes to north as well. Okay. So that's the local meridian. It cuts the sky in half. And actually, if you can see, right, there's going to be a side over here that's the east half, and over here is the western half of the sky. So when the sun is crossing this line, it is noon, okay? So let's go ahead and try that. Let's try it. Let's go back time up, and we're going to find out the sun is crossing the sky through this line, the meridian line, at what time? Okay, so actually, it looks like I'm getting closer. I'm going to use the minutes now. And you see, I'm just adjusting time a little bit at a time. There it is, okay? And as you can see, it's 12 noon. Well, not quite. Actually, if you look, it's very close to 1 p.m., 12:55 p.m. So why would that be? And the answer is because we're in daylight savings time. And remember what happens when you start daylight savings time? You jump forward an hour, you spring forward an hour, right? So 1 o'clock is in standard time noon, okay? So the sun is crossing that line. So the other thing that we're going to want to do is I will talk about the azimuth and the altitude. So remember that south is an azimuth of 180 degrees. Let's just check that. So if I click the sun, take a look right here. Look at this, azimuth, 180 degrees. This line, as for azimuth, altitude, and the altitude is 75 degrees. Actually, 75 degrees 46 minutes. That's pretty close to 76 minutes, okay? So if you take the sun back to when it started, you know, right? So where does the sun rise? Over there in the east, right? And there is the sun right on the horizon. It looks like it's just coming up before 6 o'clock, just before 6 o'clock or so. And as you can see, look at the azimuth, 65 degrees. Now, what about the direction that we call east, right? So if north is 0 and south is 180, you might guess what east is. And if you guessed 90 degrees, you totally got it. So as you can see, the sun does not rise exactly in the east on this day today, right? And so we're going to learn a little bit about that. In fact, the azimuth is about 65 degrees, and you can see the altitude is actually negative. It means it's just below the horizon, the center of the sun. But I can see, because the sun has some size, I can see that above the horizon. Okay, so let's see what else can we do with this software. You can zoom in and out, right? So actually you have lots of different things. You can see the planets, you can see stars. If you click on the name of a star, for example, it will tell you lots of information, way too much information, and actually including things like the distance. Wow, this distance, Antares, is 553.75 light years away. So that's just one of the cool things that you can do. Now, I do want to show you a little tiny bit more, but I think what we'll do is save that for another video. But these are some of the basic things that you're going to be doing with Stellarium. So thank you so much for watching.